So you describe your life as a parliamentarian in great detail. You know, when you were this young parliamentarian, you thought that going out there and changing things and doing a lot of development will sort of make you very popular. And then that instance of Mr. I.K. Gujral's telling your wife that this is not how elections are won. Would you like to narrate that?
Yeah, sure. Like most armchair critics, I also felt that politicians waste too much time on politics and that what they should be doing is serving their people in the constituency. So when I found myself elected as an MP in 1991, I dedicated myself to the development of my constituency. And to do that, I succeeded in getting the CII, that is the Confederation of Indian Industry, to undertake a survey of my economy, of my constituency, to see which are the fields in which we could promote economic development. And we worked out a number of fields. They ranged from aquaculture, that is the cultivation of things like shrimps and prawns on land, to handicrafts and handlooms, which the constituency already had, as well as its agricultural produce, trying to get them processed. So it was a very scientific study, and it was the whole report. I got none other than the finance minister, Dr. Manmohan Singh, to travel all the way to an extremely rural area of my rural constituency, Poompuhar, which is famed in Tamil literature, to release the book. And for that purpose, I asked several industrialists to come, some of whom did. Remember, Anand Mahindra was there. And I thought, and Manmohan Singh was full of praise, saying this is how a constituency should be developed. A scientifically prepared development plan, and then bringing in the private and the public sector to see how it can be developed. What he hadn't seen, and what I had not envisaged, was that if aquaculture, which was going to be, that means on-land shrimp farming, was going to be the motor for developing the backward coastal area of my constituency, the firms would be acquiring land. Now, because land at the edge where the sea hits the coast is generally very saline, it is not much use for agriculture. So nobody had thought of enclosing them. So encroachment was absolutely normal and had gone on for 5,000 years or more. Suddenly these private firms came and started enclosing the land that they had purchased. And I was very lucky, I thought, that about 10 of the biggest names in Indian industry, it included the Goenkas, it included Birlas, it included DCM, they came and purchased this land. But the minute they purchased the land, they enclosed it. The minute they enclosed it, the local fishermen who had to move their residences when the tide came in and then go back, have a lot of land when the tide went out, they found that they were prevented from their normal existence. So they started agitating. And when they agitated, the firms, the private firms, brought in guards. And when this happened, the Gurkha guards asked for dogs. Now, the only dogs you get in Mailaduthurai are pie dogs. So they'd never seen Alsatians. And when the Alsatians came in, the rumor spread in the constituency that the MP is bringing wolves into our area. With the result that this major effort, which was only a beginning, because once we had the shrimp farming, we had wanted factories which would do the processing and make it a developed, prosperous area. But the development and the prosperity would be for the private sector firms, whereas the local people were going to be deprived of their livelihood. And it also created a big gap between the farmers who said, why are you doing this for the fishing industry? What about us? So instead of any of this being of use to me electorally, it became very, very damaging. So therefore, I began to understand why veteran politicians like I.K. Gujral understood that development has too many negative aspects for an MP to handle. A government may be able to handle it, but a single MP cannot handle it. And therefore, instead of my good intentions giving me a massive majority, they've ended with them giving me a massive good name in the constituency. There isn't a child who doesn't know who I am. And they, every time anybody else comes in as an MP, they keep saying, you know, Manishankaraiyar was the best. But when it came to the vote, I won by 1,50,000 when nobody knew me in 91. And in 1996, when everybody knew me, I lost by 1.5 lakh votes. And the reason I came to the conclusion was that in a local body election, you may vote for the candidate. But as you go up the ladder and reach the Lok Sabha voter wants to determine who the Prime Minister should be, who the CM should be, who should be the party in power. So they vote for the party, they don't vote for the candidate.
अगर आप ये वीडियो YouTube पर देख रहे हैं तो हमारे चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करें और बेल आइकन को दबाना ना भूलें। अगर आप Facebook पर ये वीडियो देख रहे हैं तो हमारे पेज को लाइक करें।